Welcome to Lanterns Live, the only live stream YouTube channel dedicated solely to Green Lantern. I'm Ralph, and today I am discussing Green Lantern Corps number 5 with Vactor. Vactor, we were talking about Green Lantern before coming on. I was talking about this thing that a friend of mine gave me it was a thing they shipped out to people like Kevin Smith and Seth Green before the 2011 movie came out. Oh, it's so dusty. But I need to like spruce it up and fix the light inside. But you said you saw this and you were getting excited about the Lantern series. And I said, let's just go live.
Yes. Man, there was a level of excitement before that live action movie where I had got all my friends hyped up. I was like, oh, you guys are going to love this movie. This is going to be great. And then they came out and they were like, why did you bring us to this movie? Why did you make us watch this? And I said the Green Lantern oath during the movie when he says it in the movie. And so,
oh, that's great.
There's a level of Green Lantern. I want it to be good. And this show, everything I've seen of Lanterns so far, even though we haven't seen like a ton, like I have a good feeling about this.
I do too. And I mean, again, I had a good feeling in 2011. And when I saw the movie, I wasn't mad. I wasn't mad. I was like, oh, it's too short. And it felt like a Cliff's Notes version of Green Lantern. Like there's so much more that it could have been and it should have been. And Warner Brothers, after the sort of, it wasn't as successful. It wasn't a major flop. It just wasn't as successful as people were hoping. Warner Brothers came out and said, hey, it's 100% our fault. They slashed the budget crazy. They they just completely slashed the budget during post-production. And they copped to it. But like I think it was like 2 weeks or something before the movie came out, they put in like 10 million more into the VFX budget to do the opening sequence with the narration with Jeffrey Rush. Jeffrey Rush.
Yes.
That's right. Doing sort of the narration with Abin Sur and saying how there's, 3,600 sectors and all that stuff. But it just like wasn't enough to like be what it was supposed to be. I brought this up before. I have the Constructing Green Lantern from Page to Screen. It's like a compendium, like art book, like kind of, it's like basically the art of the Green Lantern movie. And in that you can see that Tomar Ray, Sinestro, and Kilowog are part of the fight against Parallax in Coast City, which doesn't appear in the movie. It's just Hal fighting Parallax on his own, and then he flies into the sun. And like according to the script, or what I've heard, was not only was it those 4 lanterns fighting Parallax in Coast City, Hal doesn't guide Parallax directly to Earth. He takes him to Oa.
Ooh.
Where all the Green Lanterns fight Parallax on Oa, and then Hal remembers his training and goes to an Owen sun to dispatch Parallax.
Ooh. Dang.
So, like, there's a lot of stuff where you, like, if you read the script and you read stuff, like, this should have been a really crazy movie. The runtime's like an hour and 45 minutes or something. It's really, really short. You can see if it was like a 2-hour and 9-minute movie or 2-hour, 10-minute movie, like, you could have a really crazy, like, 20-minute, 25-minute, like, and, like, climax with all these Green Lanterns fighting Parallax on Oa. And it's basically Hal just dumping Parallax on the Guardians front lawn. So when I saw the movie, I was like, man, this doesn't feel like, it feels like half done.
Yeah.
And it's funny because like Jeff Johns stopped tweeting about the movie about a week or two before it came out. And like, he was like ready to get, like, he seemed like so on board, but wasn't getting to see like bits and pieces of the movie or something.
Ooh.
Something's up.
Dang.
I'd love to have him on just to get his thoughts on that time frame
That would be amazing.
Where he, along with the artist, brought Green Lantern to the highest of heights, and then enough to where like they produced a major motion picture only to see it kind of fizzle.
Right.
So it's been a long time coming, and I feel a little gun shy when it comes to Green Lantern stuff. I get a little iffy on things, but man, like, you're right. This Lantern show feels different, and we've only seen like one official image. And it's just the two actors we knew who were going to play the two characters they're playing. So like for that minimal amount of information that we've gotten with the picture, and then like the Jeff Jensen article about the series and stuff, we're only getting like little tidbits here and there. But I mean, are we excited? Do we think it's going to be done right because it's been so long? Or do you still feel apprehensive about the series at all? Is there any part of you that feels like, oh man, they're going to mess this up?
You know, back in the day, HBO was like never missing. Like every show they were putting out was like hit after hit. And I was, at that time, if you had told me there was going to be a Green Lantern HBO show, I would have been like, oh man, this is going to be a no-brainer. It's going to be fantastic. I feel like in 2025, HBO doesn't have the same level of mystique that they used to. Now, they still put out high-quality shows, but I don't feel like they have that aura around them like they used to. So part of me is like, yes, I feel like because it's an HBO show, and you know, the people, the creatives that are behind it right now, I feel like we're in good hands just from that alone. The writers that we have, it feels like this is going to be taken seriously. I
had zero expectations of Watchmen.
Oh, yes.
Zero.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But Damon Lindelof was doing it, so I watched it, and it starts off with a bang. It's an incredible, thoughtful, well-made show where the writing is like top notch. So that's one of the things I'm like grabbing onto as far as this HBO series. In fact, maybe I'll put on my Blue Lantern ring for this discussion.
Yes.
But it's one of those things where like I want to get Damon Lindelof on the show so bad.
Oh man.
And not just for like numbers, not just because, you know, I'm trying to build this YouTube channel. I literally want to ask him his history with Green Lantern leading up to him getting this gig. Because, again, and I've mentioned this before, is when they were doing the Lost panel, before Lost came out, before season 1 came out, they did a screening of the pilot episode at Comic-Con. And afterwards, the cast of Lost, Matthew Fox, Evangeline Lilly, Dominic Monaghan, and a couple others were signing autographs down on the floor after they did this premiere of Lost. And Damon Lindelof's wearing a Green Lantern shirt. And mind you, this is a year before Rebirth, before Jeff Johns gets on the book. Dang. So this is a dude like around the early 2000s, before Jeff Johns, there wasn't like, you had to have been a longtime Green Lantern fan, right, I feel, to wear the shirt on that day.
Right.
And so for me, I want to reach out to him. He's in the movie I produced, Getting Lost. I have his email address, but it feels like overstepping my bounds to be like, hey, come on my Green Lantern podcast while you're knee deep in working on this HBO series. But we'll talk about this.
Yes.
But I got my tickets to IMAX on the Tuesday as an Amazon Prime member.
Yes.
So I'm going to see it on the 8th.
Yes.
I got invited to the Warner Brothers lot for an employee screening the following day on a Wednesday. So whenever that is, they're probably, there will be that Wednesday. There will be a Lanterns Live because 9 a.m. in the morning, I will be doing a spoiler-free review of Superman.
Nice.
So look for that on the 9th. But while I'm at the lot, I was thinking of maybe like taking one of these postcards and writing him a handwritten note, because I know which office is his, and I might just slip it in a copy of the DVD or Blu-ray of my movie that I produced with Taylor Morden called Getting Lost, which he appears in. I might slip it in and just say, hey, listen, I'd love to have you on as a guest to talk about your Green Lantern fandom up into the point where you got the call to work on Lanterns. Because I'm not looking for any inside dish right now about Lanterns.
Right.
Right now, I'm fine riding the Superman hype train, and Lanterns, you're still a little bit under a year off. We've got word this week that Nathan Fillion has already shot his bit on Lanterns, and Guy is different on that show. They say he's like more high strung. I read this in Entertainment Weekly, but like I'm trying to just focus on Superman stuff now. So, but I mean, listen, as soon as that dude's available, if I can get him on the show to talk about, because if he doesn't want to talk about the show, because like Lost and like any other show that Damon works on, he's not going to be able to give you any sort of spoilers on story and stuff. So for me, I like talking to Green Lantern fans.
Yes.
I love talking to you and Willa. I've talked to Mark and Lucha and Chris and Jay. And there's so many people I've talked to on this channel who are just Green Lantern fans. And like, that's all I want to do. And as far as like Damon goes, like, yeah, it would be great to have him on the show post Lanterns to talk about it. But I'd love to have him on pre-Lanterns just so I can get his backstory on the character. There's the first episode of Lost, or the second episode of Lost. It's in the pilot. There's a Green Lantern Flash comic with Kyle Rayner that features prominently in Lost. And so it's one of those things is like, people don't just happen to put Green Lantern comic books in their shows unless they're Green Lantern fans. So yeah, I am totally excited about Lanterns. Everything I hear about it sounds great. I'm hoping Comic-Con, they release some footage or maybe costume designs. I need to see the costumes.
Yes.
Because the way it sounds and the way they're doing things, I feel like they're going to be fairly comic accurate costumes. And I'm holding out hope that Guy gets his traditional vest.
You are making me excited right now.
This is barely even speculation. It's just the thing that got me excited is the fact that Nathan Fillion said he did shoot his Lantern stuff already. So it's there.
Yes.
So it's there.
Hey.
So,
and I got to say,
fingers crossed.
Dude, Damon is one of those people that I could listen to him talk about his passions for hours. Like, he's just so interesting, the way he thinks and the way he articulates himself. So yeah, especially the way that you presented it as like, hey, I just want to talk to you as a fan and nothing about Lanterns, just leading up to it. And even like to approach him as a fan of like, hey, what are your expectations for Superman, or what are your expectations for whatever? That I think is the way to do it. And I would love to hear it. Like, if you could get him on, I would just love to hear him talk. Because like I said, I could listen to him read the phone book. He's one of those guys that I'm just fascinated by. Yeah,
if I can slip this DVD in his door, when I'm on the lot, that'll be great. Yes. A, because I think he deserves a Blu-ray copy of the movie. Yeah. And B, like my sister gave me these Green Lantern postcards, which are just begging to be written on.
Yes.
She sent me one. I think it was a Showcase 22, but I don't know if I still have that, but it's definitely
beautiful.
I'll have to hunt it down. Speaking of which, I have some signed cards for Lost that I got while making the movie. All right, so we are back with Green Lantern Corps number 5. I don't know if there's any more we can talk about other than the Superman trailer that came out today. Did you see that Superman trailer that came out today? with another.
So-
We got another split second of Guy. It shows a lot.
Dang it. Now
It shows a lot.
I'm on the edge because I don't want to be spoiled. I want to go into it as fresh as possible. And I already know I'm seeing the movie, right? So it's not like I need the marketing to tell me to watch the movie to convince me. But then the other half of me is like, dang, I kind of want to see that like new footage. I want to see as much as I can. So I'm going back and forth.
You haven't watched it.
I have not watched it.
There's literally, they added in another split second of Guy, a new shot of Guy. And immediately I'm like, oh my God, I can't wait.
Maybe I'll watch just
like
that.
the reason, like literally the split second, he has one line of dialogue. It's like a split second. Don't watch it. You don't have to watch it, but I'll tell you this,
Yeah, tell me.
that split second made me understand why James Gunn decided to make Guy the Green Lantern of this movie and how Nathan Fillion's going to play it. It's literally a line that's like it's a split second. It takes like 1 second for him to get this line out. And I'm like, that makes sense. That's why this is Guy Gardner, and that's why it's Nathan Fillion. And it's amazing. Also, I don't know if you saw this. I posted it on my Discord, but I had predicted in the footage that we see of Guy Gardner flipping over the tank in the Superman trailer. I had a prediction that he was giving the middle finger.
Yes.
And
I remember you saying that, yes.
A clip came out where that is the case.
Oh, man.
So
Ralph was right.
So yeah, I know I was right, and it's kind of a spoiler, but again, it's like a split second. But dude, like, I'm so excited. I'm so excited about like I was already on board with Nathan Fillion. I know a lot of people are having problems with James Gunn or Nathan Fillion being too old or whatever. Here's the thing. That's not a DC fan. That's not a DC fan. Listen, I love Zack Snyder movies. I like the Green Lantern movie. I really, really like the Suicide Squad. I like Suicide Squad. I like both of those movies.
Oh, wow.
Like,
really?
I'm a DC fan, and I love seeing these characters on screen. So, like, watching footage of Guy Gardner, a silhouette of Guy Gardner with a silhouette of Superman in live action for a split second, it's like, what are people complaining about?
Right.
This is, it's DC. You're not a DC fan. If you have any problem with Gunn or anybody else, if you're so just loyal to Snyder, I get it. I really, really like those movies more than some, but you're not a DC fan. You're a Snyder fan, which is fine.
Yes.
But don't come over to DC stuff and start jumping down my throat. I'll tell you this. Since last week when Will and I covered Green Lantern 24, I have 65 new subscribers on the channel.
Oh, nice.
That's thanks to Will, who suggested that I start doing shorts on my YouTube channel. I reposted something that James Gunn posted about Guy Gardner getting his wig done for the movie. And it has something like 75,000 views on my little channel here. Yes. And it's great. It's like, this is great. But of course, some people are complaining, oh, the wig doesn't look right. The wig's too blonde. And it's all lighting. I swear, if you look at that video, it's like 5 different shades between blonde and like dark red. Like, here's the thing. You guys, Guy Gardner in live action has only happened one other time. And that's that failed Justice League show where Guy looked like a cross between Kyle Rayner and it's awful. Huh. It's awful. It never saw the light of day because you can find it on the internet. But it's one of those things like, how could you complain? We live in a world where not only is Guy Gardner in live action, but also the other guys have Herbie and The Thing and Sue and Johnny and Reed. Like, it's like people who are like, who's going to win? Superman or Fantastic Four? I'll tell you who's going to win. Comic book fans. And that's all that matters. So stop going to pages and bitching about these comic book movies because, listen, and I know I sound like an old man, when I was growing up, there were no comic book movies. the first comic book movie, or the first Marvel movie ever, Howard the Duck. And that didn't go well. So let's just think about that for a while and put this into perspective. Like, if you're a comic fan, you've got to be loving life right now. We're getting finally what appears to be a correct version of Fantastic Four and a really fun version of the DC universe. You know?
Yeah. July is going to be so good. And I'm like you too. It's like, even the stuff that Marvel's been putting out in the last, I would say post-COVID, the stuff Marvel's been putting out, it hasn't been the greatest stuff, but I still love seeing this on the big screen. I still love getting excited for these movies and TV shows. Like Ironheart is about to come out on Disney Plus.
Yeah, a couple weeks.
I think I know one person who has a little bit of excitement for it. I'm like, oh, this is going to be great. I'm loving this. But I'm the same way as you. I lived through the dark times and didn't know. Same way with Star Wars. I was like, I didn't know there was going to be more Star Wars. And so now that there is, I'm like, yes, give me more. Like, yeah.
There's no room to complain. There's so much of this stuff that you can pick your flavor. Again, like, to all the Snyder fans out there, again, I'm one of them. Those movies aren't going away because there's a new Superman movie coming out by James Gunn.
I don't
Those
get
movies
that.
will always be there. And that Justice League movie, which I loved that Justice League movie. It's like, what, 4 hours long?
Yes, the Snyder
Like,
Cut.
that's a lot of movie.
Yes.
Like, you can get your fill. And I like Batman v Superman. I was a big fan of the extended cut. I think the way they handled Clark in the extended cut was a lot cooler. I like the way that Clark was actually a journalist and going to Gotham to do reporting on the Batman, even though he was supposed to just be covering sports. Like stuff like that was really cool, but it got cut out of the initial cut. The Martha thing. Can I talk about the Martha thing real quick? I loved it. I teared up because, like, listen, it never occurred to me in my 48 years on this planet, never occurred to me that Clark and Bruce, their moms had the same name. Never occurred to me once. Never once.
Yeah.
And here you have Batman, who is the smartest man alive, the greatest fighter, the greatest detective. Like when people always pit, such and such superhero versus Batman, who wins in the fight, Batman always has a contingency plan. Batman is unbeatable. Then this guy comes and just levels the city, and Batman sees this as a threat, as an outsider. And Batman's like, this spaceman sucks. I'm going to take out this spaceman without knowing a single thing about him. Without knowing a single thing. And that moment when Clark says, Martha, like, this wave, it just hits Batman like, why are you saying that name? Are you reading my mind? Are you looking into who I am? Do you know that I'm Bruce Wayne? And Lois comes in and says, that's his mom's name. And to me, it's such an emotional moment because it's telling Batman, like, this is just a dude. You're dunking on this dude. Like, it's not some alien threat. He's here to help. And so that moment for me, I was just like, oh my gosh, like, I'd never put those two together. And maybe it's Zack Snyder's direction or whatever it is, but it was a moment where I was just like taken aback. I don't know if he got all of that information out as a director from the script, if that was coming through in the performances. But for me, that's exactly when he said Martha, that hit me like a ton of bricks. Like, they both have a mom named Martha, and that puts a whole new perspective on what Batman thinks of this alien. So for me, like, it really makes me frustrated when people like joke about Martha, because it doesn't, like, it's like, I don't know. It's the same reason like people make fun of like Ryan Reynolds in the CGI suit and stuff like it's such easy fodder.
Right. Low hanging
But
fruit.
like just think about what like goes into this stuff, and like I don't know, like I don't like when people gang up on one thing. So yeah, like it doesn't bother Lucha either. It's such an easy joke. I think that's what it is. It's such an easy joke for a moment that I feel like is kind of like the linchpin of the whole movie. People were like, "Oh, we got to see Batman's origin story again in Batman v Superman," but it's setting up Thomas saying the words Martha. You need that for the moment that comes later. So like massive fan of the Batman v Superman Ultimate Edition director's cut.
Yes.
It's the longer version. I think it's called Ultimate Edition. So yeah, correct me in the comments, but listen, guys, Snyder guys, I'm right there with you. I'm also right there with the gun guys. Let's just be DC fans.
Yeah, there's plenty of room for everybody. I gotta ask you real quick: have you seen Teen Titans Go to the Movies?
I haven't, but I think I know what you're talking about.
Yes, that number one, that movie is great. I watched it in the theater. I was the oldest person in the theater, but my son has recently discovered it because there's a fart joke that just happened to be playing in the background. And he made me rewind it and play it 5 times. And so that's his favorite movie right now. But anyways, in Teen Titans Go to the Movies, there's a Batman and a Superman, and they do the Martha joke. Well, first, the outcome, after they say both their mom's name is Martha, they hug, and they're like, there's hearts around them, and they're in love. Yeah. And then they go, wait a minute, what's your dad's name? And he's like, Jonathan. And then they start fighting again. So they went, the Teen Titans joke was the opposite of that's that. Great. But I love, that is a great film to see. As a DC fan, that is a great movie.
Okay, I need to watch it. I tend not to, like, I still haven't watched, like, Creature Commandos, but I think I gotta watch it for Superman.
Yeah.
I watched the first episode. I find it tough to get into animation sometimes. I tried Young Justice, couldn't get into it. I tried my Adventure with Superman. I only got through the first episode. So I really, really need to catch up on this stuff.
Yes. All those things are fantastic. 5 out of 5.
Yeah. All right. We've talked about a half hour, not about Green Lantern number 5, which I can just say, like, I absolutely loved.
I was about to say, speaking of things that are 5 out of 5, this might be my favorite issue so far. I was reading this.
Oh, really?
And I was like, this could be a TV show. Like, this could be an episode of a TV show, live action, and I would be loving this. Like, the action, the all of the adventure of this is like what I loved as a kid growing up, and how the two stories intersect and they meet each other. I was used to the kind of anime style art that we had talked about on a previous episode. So, man,
it's really good.
I would not be reading this book if it wasn't for you. So I have to say thank you, because this is like one of my favorite books that I'm reading now. And I look forward to every time there's a new issue now because of you.
Yeah. Let's talk about that artwork. So last month we were talking about how, like, it's so different than what the book was before. Ken Marion is the artist. And, like I mentioned, maybe they're doing 3 episode chunks the way Andor was doing 3 episode story arcs. So now I'm like kind of like in love with this art style. It's funny how it is very anime, but more so on Keli.
Yes.
Keli?
100%.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Teen Lantern.
Because like her eyes.
Her eyes, her anime eyes, which I think is such an interesting thing to do for that specific character. Because I feel like anime has gotten really big with younger folks and the YA folks and teens and stuff. Yes. And I think that's such a great way to sort of bring them into this world, to have a teenager be, really, really tied with anime. It struck me. The art really struck me in this episode because not only are the character designs completely different than any other Green Lantern series going right now, the character designs are so exaggerated. I think Simon Baz looks incredible in this book. But one of the things that got me is sort of the heavy metal Mobius kind of space backgrounds and props and creature design. It looks straight out of like Fifth Element and Valerian.
Yeah, 100%.
And
Fifth Element, 100%.
So Space Cabbie, who I forgot about last month, did a little bit of a research before I did this one. Space Cabbie looks great. His cab looks amazing.
Yes,
it looks awesome. And so like all of the detail in the ships and the aliens are just like top notch. If they are doing one artist per 3-issue story arc, I'm gonna be real sad if K. Marion doesn't show up for issue 7, because I'm really, really, really excited about that. Yeah, I'm with Johnny on this. I could do a whole episode. I love Valerian.
And he's kind of like that. There's an imprint now. Like I can't remember if I was talking on this podcast or if it was another podcast, but the same way that like Ultimate Spider-Man set a precedent for the same artist and the same writer, they set a record of, the longest continuous combos, like 116 issues. So it was like when you thought about Ultimate Spider-Man, you thought about that art style. And that's kind of the way that I'm starting to feel now about this anime influence, even though we had that first story arc already. Now I'm already like on to this one. Like this is kind of imprinted on me as this is the Green Lantern core art style.
Right. Which is kind of nice. It really sets itself apart from the Green Lantern proper series, which Jeremy Adams was working on both. Morgan Hampton doing the writing along with Jeremy Adams. The artwork is amazing. I think it's Fernando Passarin did the first 3 issues of Green Lantern Corps. But one of those ones, like, dude, like, I kind of want these guys to stick around.
Yeah.
This artist, but I also kind of do like if it's anthology style. I am kind of interested in doing 3-issue story arc anthology things, because the way this issue shook out, it felt like with the Simon story coming together with the Guy story, and now both of those storylines feel a little bit resolved. We do have one more door to kind of finish out the next issue, which is Ellie in the trapped in Carrie's mind.
Oh yes, right. Mm-hmm.
So for me, it's like, oh man, this feels like this story is wrapping up. This 3 issues are wrapping up, and maybe the next one we get like Jessica. I don't know who else, but like Jessica, Joe, and their story for that next 3 issues with a new artist. The only reason why I like that idea is because it means that the book will stay on time. If you have a different artist for every 3 issues, like you can stay on top of the schedule. But at the same time, like I'm now wanting to go find other books by this artist. Like I'm really itching to go check them out, because as much as it took me to get used to it last month, this month I'm like, nope, I'm on board 100% with this art. Yes. It's really, really fun. Reading comics in the 90s, you'd get people like McFarlane, Stephen Platt, Liefeld, and all those dudes from like Image, all super hyper detailed artwork and just like pages just jam packed full of like information, that I started gravitating towards Mike Allred, who I have 3 of his original pages here. I have some Mad Men artwork there. I would read his Mad Men book because the artwork was nice and clean and simple and had a Silver Age look. And as detailed as these images are in this issue, especially, as detailed as everything is, and there's stuff everywhere, the character style pop. So you don't have any questions on what's going on. So with the direction, with the script, And with the artwork, it's really easy to follow the action, which this issue is basically all action.
Yes.
Yeah. Simon, Teen Lantern, and Ellie, in trapped in the mind maze. And then you have Guy and Narf, which we need to talk about Narf, getting cornered by Evil Star and then hailing Space Cabbie, who comes crashing through a bar. We talk about Narf for a little bit.
Yes.
Clearly a play on Snarf from the Thundercats.
Yes.
Where I'm just like waiting for someone to just say Snarf. It might as well just be Snarf. But I'm cool with that because I grew up watching Thundercats.
Yeah.
Even though I was a little bit more of a Silverhawks fan.
Oh,
but
man. Yes.
What do you think of Narf's turn in this issue?
It was executed perfectly. Like they set you up to think, like it's this weak, timid character, and then as soon as the beware my power and the transformation, it's also kind of like a He-Man-esque type of thing where it was once that happened, that I immediately screenshotted when I was reading it, that page, and I sent it to my friend. I was like, look at this, you should be reading this book. That I think encapsulates this entire issue, was that beware my power, and then Guy at the bottom, Narf is awesome. Oh, I'm his teacher, so I'm awesome. Like,
taking credit.
That page was perfect.
He's been nothing but telling him to shut up the whole time and get out of the way and the nuisance, and just like belittling him at every single moment. And then to like take credit when he does like this powerful thing. Like for me, I'm like, that's Guy Gardner. And a lot of people who don't know the character Guy Gardner, the way we do, are going to get a good dose of it come July 11th. Because, dude, like this, between this issue and all of the snippets that we've been seeing the last week of Guy Gardner, like it's made me a big time fan. Like I love Guy Gardner a lot. Like I've always loved Guy Gardner. He's a cool dude. But like he was never my favorite.
Right.
You know, considering he's like the second Green Lantern of Earth, you think I would appreciate him more, but no, I like Jessica more. Yeah. The Guy, he's funny. And he's also like shameless. He's so shameless. For him to give himself credit for Narf, like, it's like, it made me, I was like, God, this guy sucks. He just sucks. And I love it.
Yes.
It's why I was able to predict that he gives the middle finger with the construct in the movie, because like I know that's what Guy Gardner would do, and I know James Gunn's sense of humor, and it was less of a prediction, and like it was more like I'm 95% sure this is going to happen in the movie.
That encapsulates Guy perfectly.
And I'll tell you this, so I don't have this. I'm jumping ahead. We'll get back into the book, but I just want to let people know in 2 weeks, I'll be back covering Green Lantern number 25 with Will. And so next week, I'm like, I don't know if I'll have a show next week, but I just got a tracking number in the mail that the DC Superpowers Superman version of Guy Gardner toy is on its way from Las Vegas. I got the label yesterday, and Las Vegas is usually like tops 2 days. So maybe as soon as Friday, I might have an unboxing review of the Nathan Fillion DC Superpowers toy from Todd McFarlane. So we'll see how that goes. But just seeing that toy reminded me that that's coming.
Yes. And I got to tell you,
he's such an asshole.
I think
anyway,
you are going to be very happy because I just looked at the solicits for Green Lantern 25, and V. Ken Marion is credited on there as doing art. I think he's just.
He may have done a cover.
Yeah. So there's at least going to be some in there.
The poster or the thumbnail for that post for the upcoming episode in 2 weeks I used the V Ken Marion art where it's Hal Jordan like this, and there's like missiles coming out of his back, and he's got samurai swords, and there's a lion in the corner, and it's like, it's nuts. So I went with that artwork for the thumbnail because it just fit the thing. The Zermanico art is just the mask of Kyle Rayner bloody on the ground, which I'm not happy about. But it didn't fit the thumbnail, so I used his version. But yeah, I'm trying to think. I mean, again, this issue was pretty much all action. Even more so in this issue than last issue felt like Thunderbolts with going through the mind maze. Yes. It really, really felt like Thunderbolts, which is no fault of it. It's like no one's copying anybody else. Right. Being inside someone's mind physically has been going back for a long time in science fiction and stuff. And you're like Freddy Krueger's and even beyond that, being in sort of a nightmare world. But yeah, this felt really, really, really close to Thunderbolts, which the last issue came out like a week after Thunderbolts or something. It was like really close to Thunderbolts. So for that, I was like, but again, it was really well done. I think the action had a nice progression. I'm really excited to see that what happens to John's little ghost girl stuck inside her mind maze. Yes. That should be really, really interesting. Maybe it's their way of sidelighting the character for a little bit, or maybe next month we'll just get a full story of just her. I don't know.
Yeah. The kind of tease is what's behind that door and a mission to Mogo. So Mogo is going to appear somewhere in there. But yeah, that, man, it's the perfect, like, setting you up, giving you the payoff, like building up the anticipation and then releasing it. And then it's like, you're satisfied at the end of, like, this was a great arc.
As soon as Guy's crew meets up with Simon's crew, you're like, oh, great. Now what's this about? Like, what's the next issue going to be? And then you realize, oh, she's gone. So it was a perfect tease. It wasn't like you turned the page and there was like some random new DC villain just is there. And I'm like, I'm the bottler and I'm here. And people are like, who the hell's the bottler? And you get to go back and read like, Green Lantern #5 to find out who the bottler was. but it's one of those things where it's like, oh, that's a great tag at the end. It makes me want to read the next issue. So I'm really excited to read it. I think this book is a ton of fun and it looks amazing. The writing's good and the action isn't boring. Like sometimes I read action in books and I'm just like, okay. And I just flip through it. But the action's so well staged that I'm just like, I want to look at every page. All the stuff with Guy and Narf inside that bar, like just looking at all the aliens, them using like crazy, like goofy space words and stuff.
Yes. I was going to say something about that. Yeah.
Is very kind of Star Wars, but like cheesy Star Wars, almost like some Star Trek stuff going on with that. But it felt like it was a lot of fun just to look at visually. And again, I'm so glad this book is on the cheaper side at $3.99 because when I'm reading it, I don't feel like I better be getting my $5 worth out of this.
Yeah.
It's like, nah, it's $4, this will entertain me. It's going to be a great conversation on the show. And I read it and I don't feel gypped. I don't feel gypped out of my money.
Yeah. It definitely feels like you're getting the value for it. And that's what you want out of the, whenever you're reading a comic. So man, this, like I said, this is one of my new favorite books to read. This is every time it comes up, besides the fact, want to talk to you on the show. It's like, I want to read it. I want to see what's going to happen.
Right. Do you have any more thoughts on the book? Like I'm trying to think of stuff that happened in it, but there was nothing really glaring or nothing. It was like just a nice, tight 2 storylines that came together.
Yeah. Everything.
If you have anything else to say, let me know.
Yeah, there wasn't anything else. Man, even the diner that Space Cabbie was at, it felt like Dex's Diner in Star Wars Episode 2 and the three-legged car hop. Like it was just a fun. All of this stuff is just kind of fun. Like
and she like wasn't on roller skates. She was on like blade space skates. So it's like everything was changed.
Yes.
Like diners still exist on how diners sort of look, like the ambiance and stuff, but everything has changed. Like even like the clothing is like a space version of like a 50s diner.
Right.
Really appreciated all that.
But again, it's just like if you want a fun book to read, Green Lantern Corps right now is like that might be the most fun on the shelf right now. As far as stuff that I'm reading, there's a lot of like doom and gloom and like the world's coming to an end and stuff. And then it's like, hey, this is just fun. Like there's a cabbie in space and he's flying around picking up people and smashing through things. It's like, this is just fun.
Yeah. Even in the Green Lantern book, there's a lot of everything's at stake. Every single thing's at stake. For this, it's nice that they're just like going to check this place out to the point where like it's basically like nowhere in the Guardians of the Galaxy films.
Oh, yes.
It's like this big giant husk in space of this body. And for them to take the chase basically into the butt and through like the colon where they're like bouncing Evil Star off of like some sort of like hemorrhoid or something. There's something not right in that body where that tube has some growths on it that they're just bouncing off of. All of that stuff. It's like, this is insane. Like, this is so like, it's so fun. Like, it's not like deadly serious. It's not treating these characters like they're precious. Right. They feel like real people. Like Guy feels like a real person. Simon feels like a real person. I'm so glad to see Simon. It's been so long. Like Simon's definitely not my favorite Green Lantern, but reading the Green Lanterns, the New 52 run by Sam Humphries, I really got attached to Simon and Jessica and didn't realize I missed Simon until this episode where they did do a little flashback on his story and what his life, with his brother and stuff. And it's one of those things that's like, you can make it fun and you could still have that heart. Like, I love that. I love that it doesn't have to be deadly serious. You can have a lot of fun going on, but the characters aren't played as stupid unless you're Narf. But even then, Narf gets redeemed. So it's one of those things where it's just like, it's the perfect blend of everything you want from a comic book.
Yes.
It's this, I don't give ratings, but 5 out of 5 stars.
Yeah. Yes.
For this episode, 100%. Maybe I should start doing a rating system. I don't know.
5, maybe
5 rings.
Fingers. Yeah. 5 rings. Yeah. This was just a lot of fun. I was like, man, this was a great way to start my comic week. Cause this is the first book I read today that came out today. So I'm just like, I'm on a high from reading this book, and hopefully the rest of the stuff I'm reading can keep me at that same level.
Fingers crossed. I'll put my blue ring back on for you.
Yeah.
Okay, before we go, I want to do a couple of bits of updates here. I started doing shorts on my YouTube channel, so go check those out. It seems to be helping grow the channel. If you are subscribed, thank you very much. If you haven't hit the bell icon, hit it, because you never know when they're going to release some bit of Green Lantern news that I'm going to jump on at the last minute and just go live. So you're going to want to hit the bell icon to be notified when I'm going to talk about whatever latest thing happens. Also, my unboxing for the Guy Gardner Superman version, the Nathan Fillion version of the McFarlane Superpowers toy. I'm going to unbox that as soon as it gets here, so make sure you hit that bell icon. Also, for those of you in the chat might notice that there's a couple of spam notifications from Twitch, which is great because that means my brand new Twitch channel is working. So you can now follow me on twitch.tv/Lanterns Live. I'm still on Kick. This is the second week for Kick. It doesn't look I have any comments from Kick, which is a new platform similar to Twitch. They have integration with StreamYard, which is what I use. And so now you can get the streaming from Kick, Twitch, and right here on YouTube. So look forward to that. Also, guess what I started doing today? Uploaded videos to my dormant TikTok I have a Lanterns Live TikTok. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
It's been there for a long time. It's been there for a long time because it's one of the things you do when you buy a domain name. You want to go and secure all the socials. So I did that with TikTok and never touched it. But after some success with the YouTube shorts, I'm like, all right, let me just move those videos over there as well. So you'll see that as well. So follow me literally everywhere except Twitter, because Twitter was already taken, at Lanterns Live. So I don't know who's doing Lanterns Live on Twitter. That's not me. You can tell it's not me. But everywhere, Blue Sky, Instagram, Facebook is fixed up. Everywhere at Lanterns Live. Vactor. Let everybody know everywhere they can follow you.
I'm also on Twitch, TikTok, and YouTube. Those are my main places. And everywhere else, it's Vactorverse. But specifically on YouTube, I've split them off into This Comic Cooks and Trust in the Force. Because Star Wars is kind of slowing down, like the drip is kind of getting low. I'm focusing more on This Comic Cooks, so more comic talk. But when there's more Star Wars stuff, I'll be back on Trust in the Force.
And head over to This Comic Cooks on the YouTube channel because you posted a Guy Gardner video this week.
Yes.
And that was incredibly informative. I loved it. Everyone go watch it. If you have any questions on what the hell Nathan Fillion and his bowl cut are doing in Superman, get a primer, get prepped, go watch This Comic Cooks Green Lantern Guy Gardner thing. In fact, I think at the end of this episode, when I roll the Patreon credits, I'll add your episode into that screen. So people will be able to go right to it.
For inspiring me also, because you were the one who I was like, man, what should I do? And you were like, Guy Gardner. So you inspired me. So thank you very much.
Right. Do you have anything coming down the pipe that you're looking forward to? Are you doing like Metamorpho or Hawk Girl?
Dang.
I think you've done a Hawk Girl, right?
Yeah, I have a there's and every day I'm like, I got more to do, but I've got like at least 50 that I'm in my mind. I don't know what I'm going to do next, but I have a ton that's coming down the pipe.
You could do a quick one on Narf. He's only been in 2 issues.
Ooh, yeah, not a bad idea. Yeah. I just might.
Thank you again for joining me. I'll most likely see you next month for the 3rd issue of this chunk. I'm assuming that we'll get the climax of this story next month with more from Morgan Hampton, Jeremy Adams, and VK Marion. Dude, I can't wait. Like when I was finished with this, I'm like, God dang, why do we have to wait a month? So thank you so much for joining me. Everybody in the chat, thanks for joining me. Again, hit the bell icon. Follow my shorts. I'm going to be uploading more shorts as we go. I made 2 today. One's already up. Talks about Gunn versus Snyder versus Marvel versus DC. It's a little bit of a clickbaity title, but I think you'll like it. I think you'll like it. Because it talks about what I did, like with Martha. Like it's like, hey, I love all these things. There's room in people's hearts to love all of this stuff. So
that is perfect.
Look forward to it. Comic fans, please stay positive out there. And until next time, beware my power. Well, nope. Beware my podcast. It's Lanterns Live. Bye.